If you are a UK pensioner and you own your home, please do not skip this video. What I'm about to explain could directly affect your housing benefit, your pension credit, and in some cases, even your ability to stay in your home. Many retirees still have no idea these changes are already happening, and by the time they realize, it's often too late to fix. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what has changed, who is most at risk, and what steps you can take right now to protect yourself. Welcome back to Senior Advisor, the channel where we break down important UK pension and benefit updates in simple language, so you're never caught off guard. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications now. I upload regular updates like this, and one change you miss could cost you thousands of pounds over time. Trust me, you don't want to hear about these rules after your benefits are reduced. Now, before we get into the details, let me explain why the Department for Work and Pensions is doing this. Across the UK, property prices have risen dramatically over the years. Many pensioners today own homes worth hundreds of thousands of pounds, but at the same time, they struggle to pay for food, energy bills, and daily living costs. The government sees this as being asset-rich but cash-poor, and their response is to look much more closely at property and savings when deciding who qualifies for support. These are not rumors, these are confirmed policy changes rolling out through 2025 and continuing into 2026. And they change how property ownership affects housing benefit and pension credit in a very real way. One of the biggest changes involves second properties. If you own more than one property, whether it's a buy-to-let, a holiday home, or even property overseas, the DWP is now checking this far more strictly than before. In the past, many pensioners found these assets didn't strongly affect their benefits. That is no longer the case. Second properties are now being fully assessed and can reduce or completely remove entitlement to certain benefits. Another major issue is savings and capital limits. At the moment, many benefits start to reduce once savings go over $10,000 and can stop entirely at $16,000. Under the newer guidance, there are strong indications that these thresholds are being tightened further. Some reports suggest lower limits may apply in certain cases. This has left many responsible savers shocked, because money set aside for emergencies can now work against you. But here's where things become even more serious. Traditionally, your main home was ignored when pension credit was calculated. That protection is becoming weaker. Under the new approach, the DWP is paying closer attention to the value of your home and the equity tied up in it. If you live in a high-value property, especially in areas like London or the Southeast, you may be expected to consider downsizing or releasing equity before receiving full housing support. And yes, this applies even if you have lived in that home for decades. For pensioners in supported or sheltered accommodation, housing costs are also being reassessed. The DWP is separating housing costs from care costs more strictly than before. Housing support will be handled directly by the DWP, while care costs are managed by local authorities. This might sound like a technical detail, but it can affect how much support you actually receive. Now, this next part is extremely important, so please listen carefully. Reporting rules have become much stricter. Any change in your financial situation must be reported quickly. This includes changes to savings, income, private pensions, property ownership, or even who lives in your home. In most cases, you now have between 2 and 4 weeks to report changes. If you fail to do so, you could be asked to repay benefits, or in serious cases, face benefit suspension. The DWP is now using land registry data to automatically check property ownership and values. So even if you don't report something, it may still be detected. Here's something many people don't realize. These rules affect different regions very differently. A pensioner living in the north might own a modest value home and see little change, but someone with the same income living in the south could lose benefits purely because their property value is higher. At the moment, these rules apply nationally with no regional adjustments. These changes are being introduced gradually. Some have already taken effect. Others are rolling out through late 2025 and into 2026. One major administrative change coming is the merging of housing benefit and pension credit applications, which means the system will become more centralized and closely monitored. So who is most affected? Pensioners with second properties, high-value homes, recent equity release, savings near capital limits, or overseas property are at the highest risk. Mixed-age couples may also face more complicated assessments. If this sounds like you, do not panic, but do not ignore it either. The first thing you should do is review your situation honestly. Know what properties you own, how much they're worth, and how much savings you have. Check your benefit award letters and make sure the information the DWP has is correct. If you're considering selling property, gifting assets, or using equity release, be extremely careful. The DWP looks closely at something called deprivation of assets. Poor decisions here can backfire badly. Equity release in particular now counts as capital in most cases. That means releasing money from your home can reduce or remove benefit entitlement. Always seek professional advice before making this decision. And remember, you do have rights. You can challenge decisions, request reconsiderations, and appeal if necessary. You can also request to see the information the DWP holds about you. The most important thing is to stay informed. These changes are not the end. The DWP has already hinted at further reviews in the coming years, especially around high-value homes and inherited property. That is exactly why Senior Advisor exists. To help you stay ahead, not catch up after damage is done. If this video helped you, please like it. Share it with someone who needs to hear this, and leave a comment below. Tell me which part worries you most, or what topic you want covered next. Your comments help this channel grow and help more pensioners stay protected. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications because changes like this don't come with personal warnings. I'll keep watching them closely so you don't have to. Stay informed, stay prepared, and I'll see you in the next update. ChatGPT can